This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Yeah, simply ball dropping. What's up, family? K-Sap, we up. Ain't no stopping. I'm simply ball dropping like it's New Year's Eve, making you haters believe I'm the MVP. Ask Mr. V and R&B, they do all sports, whether it's on the field or the court, from the arena to the ring. But what? You want to swing? I roll a dope like the one on this boxing thing. That's a punchline. I'm the greatest of all time. Got something on your mind.
Hit us up on the line.
For that round table talk, ask B Hunt and Sheena.
And K-Sap too.
For their views on our dudes, Marriage Chronicles for you lovers.
I'm married to the game.
The championships, the only time I
Wanna
want to
ring.
K-Sap, the man behind the mic.
Check 1, 2.
It ain't a rap until I say it's a rap.
It fall through.
Pull up, the hottest pot smoking. Yeah, I got you open. This freestyle brought to you by James Ford.
Paid promotion.
Yeah, simply ball dropping. You know what time it is. Pull up. Chop it up with your family, man. K-Sap, what up?
Another one. And now, your host of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, the man behind the mic, K-Sap.
Yo, what it do? Welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm the host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. And like I always tell you, when you come across this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It only helps the channel grow. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I see everybody in the comments section, man. Hashtag salute. Yeah, we coming to you today with another banger, man. Stephen A. Smith has dropped a bombshell, man. He has dropped a bombshell on these reports of the reason why Shannon Sharpe is leaving FS1 undisputed, his relationship with Skip Bayless. Sometimes it has to come to an end. There's a lot of reports out there on the reason why he's leaving, but we covered this the other day, but there's more speculations and there's more news and there's more evidence on the reason why he's leaving. If y'all guys think back to when Stephen A. Smith was on First Take with Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless gave him the opportunity. He vouched for Stephen A. Smith. Like Stephen A. Smith said in one of his recent interviews, while I think he was doing his podcast on No Mercy, he was basically saying when his career was kind of slowing down, Skip Bayless gave him that opportunity. He went to the bosses and they partnered up on First Take. But once a guy starts, building his brand and becoming really the climax of the show, like Stephen A. Smith really took that opportunity and ran with it. And I don't know the relationship between Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. We'll never know. I mean, because they're in the media. They both was journalists. They both was writers. And they've come a long way. Skip Bayless to his days of cold pizza, and then growing into the ESPN vibe with, being on First Take. And like I said, giving Stephen A. Smith a chance. But I look at it like, once you become a partner with somebody and you're on a debate show and you're talking sports and things like that, once you start elevating your game to the next level, and that's what I saw with Stephen A. Smith. He started elevating his game to another level. I don't think Skip Bayless didn't expect that, but Stephen A. was on the rise. And then years down the line, that's when Skip Bayless took that lucrative deal with Fox Sports and he moved away from ESPN. And then Stephen A., they said that show First Take was going to go downhill, but He's had the #1 ratings. He has people that's been on the show. They're not on there every day. He has people in and out like a revolving door. He has different people on there talking sports, to the likes of Michael Irvin, Kendrick Perkins, JJ Redick, Mad Dog, Jay Will, Marcus Spears, Keyshawn Johnson. He has everybody rotating. They're not there like every day. He has a cast of people that's coming in doing the show with him, because Stephen A at ESPN, sometimes he can call the shots and then bosses back him up, because that's what Stephen A says. I don't give a damn what I say. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, back in the past when he was with Skip Bayless, some of the things that he said he got reprimanded for. But now he don't get reprimanded like he used to, because he's a big part of the reason that First Take is doing so well, because he's running with it. And I just think Skip Bayless saw that. And it's like, I don't know if Skip went to the producers or the management of ESPN and said, hey, I don't know if this is going to work anymore. And, he left. He left for some undisclosed reasons. A lot of people were speculating because of their relationship. But, Stephen A says it, periodically, that their relationship outside, he's not going to bash him, but I don't think they have a great relationship. But he's not going to do anything to minimize what Skip Bayless is doing. So on his latest podcast with No Mercy that Stephen A. Smith has, he's said a lot. And, you got to read between the lines on some of the things that he's saying. But before we get off into what he said on his latest podcast of No Mercy, when he dropped the bombshell about Shannon Sharpe leaving FS1, Shannon Sharpe wanted to clear some rumors up about some things and relationships that, he has with Skip Bayless outside of work, even in the workplace. He was on Mad Dog Radio. I don't know if this was a recent interview, but he was talking about the opportunity that, Skip Bayless gave him. But let's take a listen to what he had to say.
15 great years, and somebody have a bad moment and they're willing to throw all of that away. I wasn't willing to throw that the 2 months that Skip and we disagreed a lot. Sometimes I think things went over the line.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning something.
And so I didn't want that. And so I appreciate everything Skip had done for me, bringing me there, giving me an opportunity to show that I was just more than a football player. I could talk about more in the sports world than just football. So I wasn't willing to throw that away. Skip and I just needed to get into a room and talk, and calmer heads prevailed.
All right, and is the relationship better now?
We're great. Look, Skip and I, we don't have the type of relationship that Skip and Stephen A had, because Skip and Stephen A came from the same world. They had been
both writers,
both journalists. They're trained. They see what they see through the journalist's eyes. I'm an athlete. I see things through an athlete's eyes, and so for me, we see things differently. That's why we work on the show. He sees things one way, I see things another way. But I think the thing is that Skip and I conveyed to Skip is that, look, we can disagree, but I want to color between the lines. I don't want the disagreement to go outside of the lines and where it becomes.
And you thought there for a little while it did?
Yeah, I did. I think everybody thought that.
I did not realize that. And, Skip has a, up and down reputation. Overall, though, he's done a great job for your career.
Yeah.
Stephen A. squares by him, too.
Yeah, man. You've done a great job by my career. I don't have a career really in the media. Yeah, I have my stint at CBS, and I want to thank Sean McManus and for giving me that opportunity. Tony Batiti, they believed in me. I didn't have a whole lot of experience. I came right off the field, and they gave me an opportunity to do that. So I appreciate what they did for me for the decade in which I was at CBS. But I was miscast. I needed this format. I need a format where I can talk about a lot of different things and give my opinion.
Not 20 seconds.
And not 20
seconds. Show.
Yeah. And so Skip gave me this opportunity.
Okay.
And the platform that I have, Club Shay Shay Podcast and Skip and Shannon Undisputed, and more people know me now from Skip and Shannon Undisputed than know me in 14 years that I played in the NFL. People ask me, like, how do you know so much about sports? How do you know so much about football? I was like, I study a lot. A lot of people don't realize that I actually played and I was a pretty good player, man, dog.
More than pretty good. I know.
Wow. Now, if you really listen to what Shannon Sharpe was basically saying, he's almost was in the same situation as Stephen A. Smith, where Skip Bayless gave him that opportunity to come on, his show and partner up with him. And Shannon Sharpe elevated. Shannon Sharpe was climaxing. I mean, he was really the headliner of the show. And basically, if you listen to what Shannon said, like, he tried to nubble it down for the disrespect not to go outside of the debate. And I think that's the issue. Some of the debates that they was having was going across the lines, and Shannon alleviated to that on that small clip that we just listened to. If you basically really listen to that in its totality, he's telling you that the debates was going overboard. Like, Skip was taking them overboard, and Shannon was trying to double down on that and nullify for that to go any further than what it did. And basically, from that little interview with Mad Dog, he's basically talking about certain situations, the DeMar Hamlin situation, the Tom Brady situation, even with the likes of the LeBron situations and stuff like that. And basically what he's really saying, they never really agreed on anything. That's what made it a great show. That's what made it a great debate show, because them two guys really never agreed on anything. But some of the disagreements was going outside the lines. And another thing, if you listen to what Shannon said that a lot of people know him now versus when he played in the NFL for 14 years, because Shannon was climaxing. So I think it got to a point where Shannon is like the disrespect had to cease, and he was getting tired of being disrespected by Skip. And a lot of people in the media and a lot of people looking in and a lot of people voicing their opinions on how Skip was treating Shannon. And I don't know if Shannon's the type of person that, looks at the news. He says he watches games with, the volume off. I know he's active on Twitter. So I know he sees everything because he responds to a lot of stuff and retweets a lot of stuff. So I know he sees the comments of people saying, why are you letting, Skip Bayless disrespect you? I know it was playing in on him. So if you listen to what he was saying, basically the disrespect got to him. And I think that's why he had to go to upper management and say, hey, we need to find something to do. We need to reach a buyout. We need to come to an agreement. And that's when the agreement came. But this latest podcast of No Mercy, Stephen A. really dropped a bombshell. So we're going to get off and listen to what Stephen A. said. If you go back and really Google it yourself or listen to the whole podcast into totality of it, of what Stephen A. was saying, I'm just going to give you a glimpse. So I want you guys to follow up on that, to go check it out. But I'm just giving you the sauce to go check it out. I'm just giving you a snippet. And this is what Stephen A. had to say.
Shannon Sharpe is leaving FS1. Do I have an idea of what happened? I'm Stephen A. You damn right I do. Do I know for certain? No, I do not. If I knew for certain, would I tell you? Hell no, without their permission. Because Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe could be at FS1, at least for the moment in the case of Shannon Sharpe. I've gotten to know Shannon Sharpe a little bit over the last few years. I genuinely like him and respect him. He is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the greatest tight ends in the history of the National Football League. And I personally think he's done a hell of a job on television and with his podcast club, Shay Shay, which, by the way, I'm going to be a guest on in the near future. And he's also going to be a guest on here in the near future. But I sincerely hope, regardless of what opinions I'm about to give, that y'all don't make the mistake of assuming that I'm going to speak against my man Skip Bayless. That is not going to happen. Skip Bayless and I have disagreed on many things, on the air and off the air. We're natural-born contrarians with one another. We don't think alike. We don't act alike. We don't like the same things. We don't vibe with each other in terms of our ideas and our belief system.
Wow. Stephen A., he dropped a bombshell. If you just listen to what Stephen A. said, he started out saying Shannon Sharpe is leaving FS1. And he really has the inside scoop because he's Stephen A. He just said that. He just said that, but he's not going to break it to us because he don't want you to assume. But Stephen A. knows what's going on because Stephen A. was in that same situation as Shannon Sharpe. And then he goes on to say that if y'all think I'm going to badmouth my man, Skip Bayless, y'all got me wrong. Because it's a lot that Stephen A. wants to say about Skip Bayless, but he's not going to do it. He knows the situation. He was in that same situation as Shannon Sharpe. And then he goes on to say that he's going to be a guest on Club Shay Shay. And he's going to be a guest on ESPN First Take, talking about Shannon Sharpe. Stephen A. has a lot of clout in the business. Stephen A. is in the loop. He is in the realm. Stephen A.'s sources are solidified. When Stephen A. breaks something to you, it's official. Stephen A. knows what's going on with that situation, but he wasn't going to go badmouth Skip Bayless because it's going to come out. It's a reason why Shannon and Fox, FS1 and Undisputed reached a contract buyout. Something wasn't right. And like I said, when you got two guys of that stature of Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe, they elevated on them shows and they was the headline. And Skip is up here, but Shannon was up there, but Shannon really was right there because that was Skip Bayless. But Shannon was the headliner. And like Shannon said, the disrespect, he wasn't going for that no more. And that's what it was. In his clip, all the debates, sometimes they got outside the lines. So it made it awkward after the taping of the show. And then you're going back in the office, you don't associate with that person. There's all kinds of reports out there that after the taping of the show, they went their separate ways. So, like I said earlier on a previous podcast, Shannon was being nothing but professional. We'll drop the bomb on that one because he's being professional. And the crazy thing about it is that I don't even know where Undisputed is going to go from here. Because if you notice when Shannon was elevating, he took Club Shay Shay, opened that up, took that to another level. And then what happened? Skip Bayless started his podcast. A trickle-down effect. Shannon was on to something. The jealousy of Skip Bayless that he had for Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe is just unthinkable. So I don't even know where the show Undisputed is going to go from here, because who are they going to partner Skip Bayless up with? But like I said, Stephen A. Smith is dropping bombshells. He's giving us clues. That relationship between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, there is no relationship. You just got to read between the lines. And like I said, Stephen A. Smith, he said it all. You just got to listen to it. He's telling you everything because he started off saying he's leaving FS1. And then he said, do I know? He said, of course. I'm Stephen A. Smith. Then he goes on to say, if y'all think I'm going to badmouth Skip Bayless, I ain't going to do it. And then you heard at the end of it, he said they contraries. They almost the same. They was journalists. They was writers. And Skip did not agree with some of Stephen A's beliefs. And Stephen A didn't agree with Skip's beliefs. And that came to a head and they had to part ways. But both of them said, Shannon and Stephen A said that Skip gave him an opportunity. And once they gave him that opportunity, they ran with it. They was elevating. Like I've always said, Skip Bayless's material is based on one thing. It's based on LeBron James. It's based on LeBron James. So guys, y'all let me know what you think in the comments, man. Stephen A. Smith dropping bombshells, but you just got to listen to it. It's going to be more reports coming out, but Stephen A. knows. Like I said, tell a friend to tell a friend. Give this video a thumbs up. Like, comment, and subscribe. I see everybody in the comment section. I reply to your comments. Let's get this video popping. It's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm the host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.